Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vorpal Board. It's Monday night, and tonight we are doing a world premiere
Dun,
of the
dun,
solo
dun.
mode of LumberJerks, which is currently live on
Yeah.
Kickstarter. And I have joining me tonight the always fantastic Austin Mace of Howling Hog Games. Austin, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, I always love having you on the stream, especially to play LumberJerks. So we are only a few days from the end of the campaign, but you're about a week out.
Yep.
And
Almost
you're
exactly a week.
you're just over or just under. You're kind of vacillating above and below 7,000 of the $8,000 target, which I think we were talking a little bit before we got on. I think that leaves you in a pretty confident position going into the last week. It looks like you're
Yeah.
pretty confident that you're going to fund okay, which is great.
Yeah. I think not to jinx it, I think we're going to fund, and it's just a question of which day of this week does it happen.
Let's do it today, right?
Okay.
Let's do it.
That's
Let's
a
do
lot
it
of
tonight.
pressure.
Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of pressure on us both. But one of the cool things, so anybody who's watched our stream knows we love LumberJerks. We've played it a number of times on the stream. It's actually a family favorite of mine. I play it with my kids and my wife a lot, and we've had it a couple times here. Agent Dave, who is in the stream, is also a backer of the LumberJerks Kickstarter campaign. And the cool thing is, during the campaign, you announced a or a solo version of the game, a mobile version. Sorry,
Yeah.
It's
No,
not-
we did not. I mean, the Vorpal board version is the mobile
right.
version.
A solo version. So the game is normally competitive at 2 to 5 players out of the box, but now it's 1 to 5 players out of the box, and we're going to play the solo version tonight, which is cool. So what gave you? Where'd you come up with the idea? Like, what was it? Something that you kind of knew you were going to do going in, or was it sort of a inspiration halfway through the campaign type deal?
It's somewhere in between. We wanted it, and we just couldn't crack it for a while. And the way game design for me tends to work is you try desperately to have an idea, and it evades you, and then you give up, and then months later, it just like pops into your head at 3 in the morning. Um, so I just it suddenly occurred to me how we could make this work because our big barrier for solo mode was that um, Dave doesn't want, and Dave's the artist and primary designer on the project. Uh, Dave didn't want to have a bunch of extra cards, a ton of extra rules. Like the game is cheap. It's a family game. It's quick. It's fun. It's light. And we didn't want to sort of bog down the rule book or the box with all these extra components. And so making it work mostly with the existing structure of the game was our big barrier. And I just sort of I played Unbroken and Friday are like two big solo games, and I think eventually just some of that seeped into my brain and helped inspire some of the twist on the rules that we're gonna do tonight.
Cool. So the other big thing we're world premiering tonight is actually a feature in Vorpal Board for people who have seen it before. We have video going of boards tonight. So instead of sending ultra high res photos of the tabletop, we're going to be doing video tonight. And the reason that we added video is for certain games, it works really well, right? If it's a game that doesn't have super tiny text, or it's a game that has really recognizable pieces, you really don't need the ability to be up at like 5 megapixels or 10 megapixels for photos, right? So this way you can actually see things flip over real time. I'm going to be rolling dice in the real world here in meat space, not in virtual space. And I'm going to be flipping over cards here as well. So this will be a little bit of a different way to play for us. But we're pretty excited about the feature edition. So, all right. So people who know about LumberJerks, the basic idea is I'm going to be trying to chop down these trees. When you play competitively, everybody owns their own tree, and you try to chop down your own tree, and the other players try to kind of slow you down while they're chopping down their tree. In the solo mode, I have 5 trees, so all these trees are mine, and I'm going to try to chop them from left to right, and I got to do it in order. So I have to have the tree on the left fall, then the right, then the middle, or excuse me, then the second from the left, then middle, second from right, then all the way on the right. If
Right.
ever I have any tree fall that is not the furthest to the left, the game is over, and then
Yep.
my score is how many tree chops I was able to get out of 35.
Yeah, and in sequential order. So, if your second to left tree falls, you don't get points for all those chops on the right trees. It's just in order what you've chopped so
Okay, so
far.
just just your successful chops.
Yeah.
So essentially, it's how close you were to the finish line.
Yep.
And so the only setup difference is obviously laying out the 5 trees. But you also take the deck and you pull out, depending on the difficulty level you're playing, there are, I believe, 3 difficulty levels, easy, normal, and hard. You pull out a different number of cards from this deck, and then you play just with that deck. And I'm going to be playing the normal difficulty tonight, and I'm going to be trying to beat Austin's score, which he played today. And
Yep.
Austin, what was your score? 25?
It was 25 out of 35, which obviously I didn't make that number up. I would have given myself a higher score if I had.
Yeah, well, maybe 25 is really good. I mean, it's not like it has a huge play amount yet.
No, exactly.
And so I don't have a lot of great strategy here. I will be playing the 2 cards as I'm drawing them over here on the left-hand side, and then trying to just sort of work my way through these trees. Yeah, Splendid Koala, tough to beat. So maybe it's really easy to beat. We'll find out. That's the exciting part about playing. And Austin will supply color commentary and also just making sure I don't break the rules.
So. Oh yeah, which is my favorite thing to do on a Vorpal board stream, but now I get to do it in video instead of just in the chat.
We love our rules. We love our rules, people. So even if you feel like you're being a jerk, we love it. Okay, so I'm gonna start with just dealing myself 2 cards, just like I normally would in a game of LumberJerks, and then off we go to the races. All right, so a 2.
Okay.
Great.
Good start.
Great start. All right, so I'm going to chop again.
Okay. Oh, don't forget draw.
Oh yeah, draw before I
card.
choose. That's right. Yep.
I mean, that's the right card to play, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, all right, chop again. It is.
Ooh.
It starts with just as good as the virtual dice the last time we were playing. Okay, so the other thing to talk about is every turn I'm sort of switching which tree I'm focusing on. Mm-hmm. So I was just focusing on tree 1, which is when I want to get a lot of chops. And now I'm focusing on tree 2 when I still want to get some chops, but not maybe as much as on tree 1. Okay.
Yeah, you can pretty much treat the left to right as a sliding scale of like chop to grow, what you're really going for.
Right, and then the interesting thing that's going to come up is like where I want to put my wildlife to kind of slow down other trees, and we'll see right after I roll. So I'm on tree 2. Are you thinking about having any sort of a token to tell you where you are, or is that just going to be a mental exercise, Austin?
Well, we have tokens as a stretch goal for the normal mode,
right?
And I think if we were to unlock that, we could pretty easily just print a couple extra numbers on some of those tokens, and just use it that way.
Yeah. All right. So thank you for pointing out. I was optimistic Cannon for a second there, but now I'm optimistic James. So I'm gonna leave the optimistic on me
for now.
For now, yeah. All right. Perfect. So another 2, which is great. And then I'm just going to put a wildlife on tree 6.
Okay.
All right, now we're on tree 3. Ooh, double chop. And see, now I've trained myself, Austin, to flip them that way.
Oh, yeah. You've had to adjust.
I've had to adjust them to flip them. My brain wants to flip them left to right. Yeah, Agent Dave, you didn't see me shuffle the cards, but, we're in a trusting friendship here, so you're just gonna have to trust that I didn't cheat any more than necessary. Okay.
Well, the nice thing is now the viewers can blame your lack of shuffling if you lose, and can claim you shuffled properly if you win. Like we can have it both ways. It's like
exactly.
The Schrodinger's cat of decks.
Right. Okay. Yes. Exactly. Okay, so that was double chop on 3. So I'm gonna move to 4, and let's see what I can do here. And I fail. All right, gonna draw myself a card, and we got a wildlife. So if I do go up to 4 wildlife in a tree, when I get to that tree, it triggers an auto wildlife clear. Am I stating that correct?
Yeah, and you don't roll for that tree that turn.
Yep. So I could drop 2 more into tree 6, and then when I get to tree 6, I jump right to tree 1 and take the wildlife out of tree 6, which is what tree 5, excuse me.
Yeah.
That is what I'm going to do right now.
And that is a really good short-term play because it means you get to skip a whole turn on that tree. But since you don't know how many wildlife are in your deck, you might be blowing through a resource that you might wish you had spread a little bit thinner.
Right.
So we'll
Yeah.
see how that pans
We're
out.
gonna see how that plays out for me. So all right. So I play and then when I get to tree 5, I just skip it.
Yep.
The one thing that's funny about the about using video is now you'll see how many times I just like screw something up.
You just
Where,
fumble.
yeah, where I just knock stuff over. Where normally you would actually miss it because the photos were coming in slowly. All right, so I'm back on tree 1. Let's actually see some chops here, guys. Come on. Yes.
All right.
We'll take 1. All right, let's
Technically the first good outcome of the
yeah,
game.
exactly. The only good chop so far. All right, so I'm going to grow tree 3. So we're going to knock that one back down. And now I'm on tree 2. All right, take that. Let's see what we get. Ooh, nice.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so that's good.
A textbook wildlife spread.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm gonna put the 3 on 5. I keep saying 6 for some reason.
Yeah, don't make me print 7 more tree cards.
Right? Yeah, 7 more tree cards. That would just throw off the whole equation.
1 to 6 players and a mobile version. You're just spouting off all of these new concepts.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, so I'm on tree 3.
Yep.
Let's see. Perfect. I'll take that. Ooh. And I'll put that on tree 4. So now, hopefully, I can just have these sit here for a while.
Yep. Yeah.
And we'll see how that works. So tree 4, I'm good. All right. I'm going to put a wildlife 1 on, or I'm going to, yeah, wildlife 1 on tree 3.
Okay.
Just try to slow down tree 3 a little bit. Okay, so now I'm on tree 6. And good. All right, so question from chat. Is it free for all, but there are set actions for each tree, like card drawing, playing? So yeah, so essentially, Dave, like, I'm almost like, imagine me moving my seat from tree 1, tree 2, tree 3 as my focus. And then I draw and roll for just that tree. But when I play a card, I can play it on any other tree, kind of like you're playing the normal competitive game. So the tree I'm chopping is tree 1 right now. But I could play a wildlife or a grow on tree 2, 3, 4, or 5. I am not allowed to play on my own tree. Is that correct, Austin?
Right. You can't play a grow card or a wildlife card on your own tree because you're playing almost exactly the same way you would play as if there were 5 of you playing a 5-player game, but you guys had this particular goal of going left to right.
Yeah. So you're kind of yeah, exactly. I'm kind of inhabiting 5 bodies during the course of the playthrough.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to in real time look at the rules written out, they are in our latest update on the Kickstarter. So if you can go there, I've got them all typed up nicely, explains everything step by step.
All right, so
we can all time in to correct James if he messes up.
Yeah, I just put the link in the chat, so
Perfect.
You can jump from there. Okay, so I'm on tree 1. Let's go, baby. Yes. All I want to do is get through like one tree without totally. Oh.
Oh, what? Okay, that is really not good.
Because I can't play it. I can't get rid of it.
It's not playable unless it becomes relevant, and it is just taking up a slot in your hand.
Okay, so yeah, this for anyone who doesn't know, this is the hippie repellent, and the hippie repellent can only be played to remove a hippie from your tree, and since no hippie is in any tree, I can't play it. So it's just going to sit in my hand, and I'm going to be forced to always be playing one of the other 2 cards, which is great.
And it is technically possible that neither hippie is in the deck you're using.
Correct. I might have pulled him out. So
yeah,
that's cool, I think. All right, so I'm going to put this wildlife in tree 3, and then we're going to move on to tree 2.
Agent Dave, is there video tutorial? I hate to break it to you, you're watching it. This is the video tutorial. So if you go to sleep now and wake up tomorrow, you can watch this video start to finish.
Right. Yep. Just fire up the time machine, move ahead in time a little bit. All right. So I'm gonna play a grow, and grow back tree 3. and now I'm on tree 3. That was my action
All
on
right.
tree 2. All right, so now I'm on tree 3. Man, I am rolling so many failures, which now right now is fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's great half the time.
Oh man,
Bum bum.
this is just a bummer. I get 2 grows.
This is proof you shuffled the deck. If there was any doubt.
Yeah,
In chat.
unless I just get like dozens of chop agains as we go. Okay, so now I'm on. Oh man, what tree was that on?
You rolled on tree 3.
Okay, so
and then
and I
played your
played.
card.
Yep. So now
Yeah.
I'm on tree 4.
Yes.
All right.
And
So
yes, Agent Dave, the regular gameplay you can see on the campaign page from Vorpal board as well. There we have a couple videos actually.
all right, so I'm just pulling grows only right now. That's my only. I'm just losing points constantly, and I'm burning through all those grows, which obviously I'll probably want
Yep.
later in the game to keep tree 5 from falling over. So
And,
all right,
and you will lose the game if you go to draw a card and that deck is empty.
yeah. Okay. So explain how we're going to use rubber axe. So is that
Okay.
I'll play it on myself?
No, I think it says choose a player.
It
is
does.
The beginning of,
Yep.
Right. Okay. So, whenever you want, you play it on someone other than the tree you're currently using, and then basically that will work where when it is their turn, they will then fail. So basically, you're setting someone up to fail their next turn.
Okay. All right, cool. So I'm on tree 6 right now. I'm going to play this just on tree 3
Okay.
because why not? I'm wildlife to the gills out there. And now I'm moving on to tree 1, and I need to start getting some chop success here. So there we go.
Okay.
We'll take it. I have 2 points. Man, this is just nuts. I haven't gotten any chop agains. I'm going to put a wildlife. I'm going to put this 1 in tree 2, just because
Okay.
I'll probably bypass it here.
Yeah.
All right, so rolling for 2. I rolled a 1, of course. This is unbelievable, right?
Honestly, it seems pretty on brand for you, James.
Yeah, it actually does. That's a good point. All right, so I'm gonna put this wildlife. I'm gonna go over the top on tree 3.
Okay.
I am moving to tree 3, and that means I get
The whole turn is
everything
Yep.
is null. But does the rubber axe stay? Because I didn't.
No, it will also go because well,
I didn't roll.
you did skip the turn.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna allow it.
All
You
right.
can leave the rubber axe.
Rules master says okay. Okay, so we're on to tree 4. I just skipped the entire turn on tree 3, and tree 4 fails, of course, because he's got a lot of wildlife. Come on, this is unreal. I'm just gonna be out of grows entirely, so I'm gonna play the beans, and I'm just gonna grow back. Like I'm gonna be through 3 turns here and not have any points.
Yeah, it's gonna be just like the back half of that deck is all chop again. So you're just gonna like
Just blast through one
yeah, the
tree.
whole game
Yeah,
will
exactly.
be over in like 3 turns.
All right, so here's tree 5. Oh, of course. Tree 5, I pass. All right, so I get rid of the wildlife, and I get a chop on tree 5.
Yep. At least you didn't get a double,
Yep.
which would have happened without the bear.
All right,
Hey!
so now we have a chop again, but what I'm going to... Oh, man. I guess I'm growing tree 1.
Wait. Why?
Well, because I'm not going to chop again on 6.
Oh, I see what just happened.
Yeah,
sorry.
I- yeah,
looked
I'm
in chat
on
and thought it
tree
was like
6,
the perfect timing, and now I see what occurred. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my gosh. All right, so now we're on tree 1. And I roll a 1. So I'm going to chop again, probably. There we go. All right, so I'm going to chop again on tree 1. I'm on tree 2, baby.
It's good to know that a 0-point game is possible.
It's possible. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
possible. All right, tree 2. Yes.
Okay.
All right, but that's not a
Critical.
not a double.
double.
Chop. So we just get the 1. And then I'm going to play the chop again.
Okay.
I want to start making some progress. I want to feel better about myself. All right, we got a 6. So let's go get
Just
it.
don't get over eager on that second tree.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so I'm on tree 3, and now I'm going to fail this roll when I chop, but I'll roll it anyway. Just get some of the 2s out of my system. So the jerk card's out, and now I get to chop again, and I'm going to chop again.
Okay.
All right. All right, moving on to card number 4. All right, failed that, which is good. -1, which I will put in in location number 5. And here we go on tree 5, fail.
Perfect.
And then we're going to put a wildlife on tree 3. And tree 1. Yes. Finally. I gotta get some of these. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna chop again. All right.
Okay, there we go.
Now we have some progress. That's what I'm
Now, if you could
talking
just
about.
draw a hippie, this whole thing would turn around.
Yeah, the hippie would. So, Dave, if the game over if you can't draw any cards. So I only have a limited number of moves to make here. So I'm in a bad spot. I got to get some 6s here. All right, so I'm on tree 2, and I fail. And of course, more grows. So I'll use one of them to grow 5 back.
Because you're adamant we have 6 trees.
I am, yeah. For some reason, looking at the square here, I feel like it's 6 wide. Okay. So I'm on tree 4, and I don't get anything there. And then I'm gonna put another wildlife on tree 5, and now we're on tree 5, and we fail, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So that's a little bit tricky, actually.
Yep.
I'm going to grow tree 3.
Okay. I might have made that call, too. So whether or not that's good, I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of want to hold on to that 3, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. We're on tree 1, and of course we roll a 1.
What's this Wii business?
Yeah.
James?
Oh, yeah. Okay. The royal Wii. All right. So I chop again on tree 1.
Okay.
And we get a 5. All right. So
yeah.
Slowly turning the tide on tree 1. All right. Tree 2. 5.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah. Not ideal.
Not ideal. But I'm gonna play it right now. I think I'm gonna play it right now.
Okay. Oh. So here's the interesting thing. I don't think we did this with the rubber axe. So, per the normal game rules, a jerk card doesn't count as the card you play this turn.
Correct.
So, and if you play her, you also need to play the wildlife, and then draw 2 cards next time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, that's my bad. I should have caught it before.
Okay. All right. So then I guess I'm gonna save it. Because there's really not a utility in playing it.
Yeah. The downside being you're stuck being automatically forced
to
play your 1 card each time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play the wildlife. I'll put it on tree 3.
Okay.
And then I move to tree 3, which triggers a skip.
Yep.
And now tree 4, I fail. And I'm just gonna chop again on tree 4.
Okay.
Fail. And now we're on tree 5. And we succeed.
Oh no.
Yeah, not great.
Okay. Grow card. Oh. Yikes.
I'm gonna chop. I'm just gonna play the straight chop again. It doesn't make sense to play the Mother Nature right now.
Yeah, not till you get to the 1st or 2nd tree.
All right, so we failed, so that's good. On to tree 1. Okay.
Yes.
Come on, give me a chop again. Okay, so I am gonna play the Mother Nature now just to get it out of here.
Yep.
And so that will cause 2 and 5 to regrow, and then I have to play the wildlife as well, and I will play that to card 5.
Yeah, Agent Dave, skip triggered. So wildlife subtracts from your roll. It's a d6. You need to get a 3 or higher. So if the wildlife is a -4 or higher that you've built up on a tree, the roll is impossible. So instead of it being broken, you then just skip that whole turn when you get to that tree, remove all the wildlife, which is part of a rule in the normal gameplay. Normally, you could choose to skip your whole turn to get rid of any wildlife, but that would just make this too easy for James. So
Yeah. So it's a way to force a turn skip if I want to play a whole bunch of wildlife.
yeah.
Kind of balancing the choice out there. Okay, so I am on tree 2.
Okay.
And we get a 6. Uh-oh.
As long as tree 1 goes first, then you're in really good shape.
Then I'm in really good shape. All right, so I'm going to play this wildlife on tree 5.
Okay.
And now we're on tree 3, and we got a 6. Now we got the 6s popping. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, man. Okay. All right.
Oof.
I'm going to chop again.
Okay.
On tree 3. And we'll take a 5. Now we're on to tree 4. All right. And I guess we're going to grow tree 3.
Yeah.
All right, tree 5. Fails, good. I mean, we got a good curve here. I think what's going to kill us is the running out of cards. I think
I think your time limit.
All right, so I'm going to put this 2 on tree 3. And now we're on tree 1.
Okay, so really quick before we roll, remember that you can play that super axe right now if you wanted to lock this thing down.
Good point. I am going to play it right now. So I get a +3 when rolling a chop this turn. I'm going to roll a 1, which is going to be so good.
Oh, okay. Well, you didn't get the double, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I got the 5. Okay, so now I draw back up to 3, right?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, so close.
Yeah, just not. Everything is not good. I'm going to use the fertilizer. I want to hold on to this wildlife, so I'm going to fertilize tree 3. And now I'm on to tree 2, and if I roll a 6, this is finito, right?
Yep. That could kill it. We might have to...
Oh, all right. We survive another turn. Okay. I'm not going to chop again, obviously, so I'm going to trigger a turn skip on 3.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to trigger a turn skip on 3. So
yeah, Agent Dave, I see what you're saying. You could just remove the jerk cards to play solo mode. Like, they aren't necessary to play solo mode at all if you wanted to just make it a little easier for yourself. Okay, they're a mixed bag in solo mode. Like, as James has shown, jerk cards can be super helpful, but also they can just be a huge barrier.
Yeah, the hippie repellent is really killing me right now. Okay, so I just I'm on tree 4. And I'm actually gonna grow. I'm just gonna grow tree 3.
You can't really risk failing that first tree when you get around to it.
Yeah, I need to chop again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, so I'm on card 5. I'm on tree 5. I fail. I'm almost out of cards too. I'm gonna lose this for sure. All right, so I have to chop again.
Yep.
On tree 5. And okay, and now I'm on tree 1, and this is it. We're gonna knock this one down. And I get the double.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So go ahead and clear those away.
Clear it. That's fantastic.
So you banked 7 points, and now you losing from the wrong tree falling down is virtually impossible.
Right.
At the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I got that, and then so what happens? Do I no longer have a tree? So
yeah, you will just bump to your next turn. Don't draw and play a card as tree 1.
So I don't even draw a card at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so now we're on tree 2. All right, so I got the chainsaw. I'm going to chop again.
Okay.
Got him.
Nice. All right. 14 points.
and no other chops currently. So I would have liked to have not had to grow back tree 3 so much, but...
yeah,
beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah, Agent Dave, you must play a card Every tree and every turn is the same. You must roll a die. You must draw a card or draw back up to 3, and you must play a card.
All right, we're gonna chop again. See, here are all my chop agains. That's why we were
Yep.
missing them for so long at the beginning of the beginning. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right. I didn't want anybody to accuse me of cheating.
It's admissible in Vorpal board court.
Right. Okay, so we're on tree 4. And we failed there. All right. So I'm going to put the -1 just on 6.
All right.
And then we're moving to 6, or moving to 5.
5.
Gosh, I'm not going to stop doing that, Austin. I'm sorry. Okay, so we're moving to 5. I trigger an automatic skip on 5. I'm back on tree 3.
Yep, which is effectively tree 1 now, I guess.
Right,
But
yeah. Let's not go crazy. Dude, I'm already getting it wrong all over the place. Let's not... Oh, come on. The skunk card, man. So you can move all wildlife from my tree to another. I guess I can use that on tree 4 to move it to 5. That's not the end of the world. Okay, so I'm going to chop again on tree 3. And get a chop.
All right.
And now we're on to tree 4.
Out of curiosity, how many cards do you have left?
Only 2. I only have 2
Oh,
cards
wow.
left. So this
you
is...
could have said 20. Based off of like the visual angle, I don't think it was...
Oh, yeah, right from the top. Very hard to tell. Yeah, there's just 2 right now.
Oh, yeah. So let's see.
Okay, so I'm on tree 4, and I'm going to roll, and I actually clear it.
So here's the argument against using any jerk cards now is it's just going to end the game almost instantly if you plow through. Yeah.
So I just got to do whatever it comes up, really.
Yep.
So I'm going to chop again on tree 4. There we go.
Okay.
Now we're on to tree 5. Any fail, and then that's it, right?
I'm just gonna you're gonna get to roll on tree 3, but then when you go to draw, it'll end the game.
Okay, so I'll put that on tree 4, and now we're back on tree 3, and let's hope for a 6. 5, all right.
Ooh, okay.
So we got a chop. Okay, so we got what? We banked 14 points, and then we get these. Do we get credit for these? Is that how?
Yeah, you get exactly credit for the leftmost tree in sequential order. So you're going to get 5 points off of that.
All right, so 19 points.
19. So you did not beat my 25.
So you got through 3 trees. And then, all right, so you were probably feeling pretty close.
Yeah, I felt good.
Was your playthrough really different than mine in terms of...
Well, I didn't draw the hippie repellent on my 3rd turn, so my playthrough was very different.
Yeah. Yeah, because just having 3 cards the whole time to choose from would be a huge difference.
Yeah, it was a very big difference. That was the edge, and then although I did have a similar problem, which is I was having more jerk cards in general than I wanted to come up, which is why I couldn't really crack it onto the final tree before time ran out.
Okay, yeah. So that is interesting. I like this. I think because honestly, like you could crank through this in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're not talking, if you're just sitting there kind of playing solitaire yourself, kind of grind at it. I do think it would take some more playthroughs from me to see if I'd want to play with the jerk cards or not.
Yeah. Yeah. And
honestly, it's really only maybe hippies and hippie repellent. Then maybe I would prefer personally just to play without those because they seem like they could really. The hippie's not so much. If a hippie comes out, that's cool. I mean, that wouldn't bother me so much. But this hippie repellent problem was a really bad luck situation.
Yeah, that's true. And it's interesting. This is the first time I've seen it where the hippie repellent comes up like early and no hippies ever arrive.
Right.
Because you just incidentally pulled them both out. So because when the hippies are in play, that card is either really useful or not a big deal to play. Because like you were saying before, you could just bounce it between 4 and 5, the trees.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You could just move the hippie around. Like a hippie is really good for you, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. So, it's tricky. Based off of seeing what just happened to you, I need to look at it more and see the numbers. I would be open to having just including the hippie repellent jerk card being its own level of difficulty. Like including it in is like a halfway point between easy, normal, and medium, or easy, normal, medium, easy, normal, and hard. At any point, you could sort of amp it a little bit by including that.
Right. And so so folks on the stream know the difference between easy, normal, and hard is you pull 20 cards out of the deck, 30 cards out of the deck, or 40 cards out of the deck. Which means if I was playing easy, I would have had 10 more cards, which I probably wouldn't. I mean, I might have won. I mean, I would have had to have 10 really good turns. And then on hard, I would have gotten like 7 points. Maybe less.
Hard with that hippie repellent at the beginning would have been a disaster.
Right. Yeah. So, but the interesting thing is with hard. Oh no, hard. You have even less cards. Yeah. So. Okay.
Fewer cards. Sorry.
Yeah, that would have been that. Yeah, that would have been awful. So yeah, this is good. I mean, I think I like the idea that you have added another kind of wrinkle to be able to play the game. And you know, I'm curious to see somebody beat it. You know, at normal, just to kind of see kind of what that playthrough looks like. How did you go through? Did it just take a bunch of playthroughs to get kind of the 20, 30, 40 ironed out?
Yeah, that was the big thing. There was a period of time where I was playing without that, and then the game is just a cakewalk. You know, like if you have the
full deck,
it's a breeze. But 20, 30, 40, just a bunch of playthroughs, trying to get a feel for it. You know, you want to hit that sweet spot where like easy mode isn't a guaranteed win, but you're banking on winning way more often than not.
Right.
Because there's not, and we talked about this a little bit before, it's not really a win-lose, because you could get anywhere from 0 points to 35 points. It's more about beating your personal record.
Right.
So it's really hard when you talk about balance. Like, is balance getting half of 35 points on average? Because in which case we did pretty good. You know?
Right. Yeah, I guess that's true. Right. Like, you know, it's almost like in solitaire, right? When you play around a solitaire, like, how far do you expect to get? You don't expect to win with any regularity.
Yeah. If your goal is to get all 35 points, even on easy mode, like that, you'd probably be disappointed. This is about doing better than you did last time.
Yeah. Right. What is the full deck number?
Okay. The full deck number is 82 cards. I think James actually has a slightly earlier draft of LumberJerks that has 80 cards total.
So what you're saying is this one might be worth some money out there on the market. I have a special one, right?
Yeah, that is not what I'm saying. But James is missing 2 jerk cards, not 2 unique jerk cards, but 2 copies of existing jerk cards. So he wouldn't have wanted them in this playthrough anyway.
Right. Cool. And then these rules, subject to slight tweaks, maybe. Before final print, right?
Yeah, pretty slight tweaks. I would say the 2 biggest things are we might adjust a little bit of the balance, and that mostly comes down to that easy, normal, and difficult setting, just like we talked about with the hippie repellent. The other one, I just lost it. Oh, the other one would be like how much room we have in the rule book to include like frequently asked questions just about the solo mode. Like, for example, we would need to have a line that says like leave out the super LumberJerk card. So that would definitely be in it. But when it comes to some of the questions, like what happened with the rubber axe, like whether we can squeeze that in officially and give a recommendation or leave that subject to interpretation is really just going to depend on economy of space.
Right. Yeah. And I think, what was I going to say? The one thing that would have thrown me for a little bit of a loop the first time was the playing of 2 cards if you play a jerk.
Yeah, that's another big one. Yeah,
I just wouldn't have thought of that. I would have just played my 1 jerk and moved on to my next tree, essentially.
Yeah, and depending on the situation you're in, that might have made it easier or harder depending on what you wanted.
Right. Yeah.
So that is potentially something we could tweak. Our goal was to keep as many rules from the original gameplay intact.
Yep.
But in solo mode, it's possible that it makes the jerk cards like too much of a hindrance versus like a power. Because in the regular game, they're the best. Like almost no matter which one it is, when you draw one, you're happy because it's a game changer most of the time.
Yeah. Yep.
Here, they're not like the perfect card that you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're way more situational. Because in the regular game, you almost can play them like instantly, I mean, most of the time, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Chad is bothered by the fan I have on that's apparently haunting the stream.
Well, also, what is that behind you? Is
Uh,
that a door or what are we looking
oh
at?
yeah, this is the my little. Oh, I'm
Oh, is
so
it like
bad at
one of those like barn door kind of
Yeah,
stuff?
it's a barn door.
Okay.
Yeah, to just a closet full of games.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah. Uh, I'm in my home office.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's kind of it looks like it's just sort of jutting out of your head, so I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think this is good. I like it, Austin. Good job. This is just
Thank you.
another way. Now I can task my children with trying to get through easy mode, and
There
see
you
how
go.
they do. Yeah. But the biggest thing for everyone in the stream tonight, and I think most everybody that has been chatting already is a backer of LumberJerks. But if you're not a backer, get yourself out to the Kickstarter and back the Kickstarter. You have a week left, and the guys only need a little bit of a push to get over the hump, which is great. And so hopefully in 7 days we're going to be celebrating yet another Howling Hogs joint. And then, do you, Austin, I don't have it off the top of my head, what's the delivery date target for LumberJerks?
The estimate right now is July of next year.
Okay, cool.
That puts us at, I think, 10 months from the end of the Kickstarter, or just about that. And we think we can beat it, but we don't want to promise that. But we were pleasantly surprised with how streamlined the whole manufacturing to fulfillment process was with the Curse of Misfortune Lane. We put an estimate of about a year on that project, and we got it into 90% of backers' hands within 8 months. So we'd like to continue beating our estimates, but we also lowered this one, so we'll see.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and there'll be some slight changes. I was talking to Alex the last time he was on the stream. A few changes to like box size and stuff from the one that I've shown off, so it'll be a little bit. I think it's a little bit smaller but squatter, the new version.
Yep.
Currently, it's a little bit for the card size. I think that's the right choice, by the way, because that'll keep some of the cards from sort of sliding around inside the box.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be perfect.
Yeah, we're a big proponent of doing the to fit packaging. I know that some people like to make their boxes big as they can justify, so it takes up more shelf space in the store. But I have a closet full of games and a different room for games, so I definitely understand why someone like me, I'd rather get any game I have to be in as small a package as it can physically be contained in.
Totally agree. And also, I think LumberJerks is a good one that you just can like travel with and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not, especially if you're going to be seeing friends that are not big, like board game players.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to bring, Vindication or something and be like, all right, first let me explain to you for the next hour how this game is played, and then.
Oh, you mean you don't have your pocket edition of Gloomhaven that you take around with you to see the grandparents?
Just crack that out. Yeah. So yeah, let me. I'm going to give you a level 1 rogue, and we're just going to see how it goes, Grandma. But no, this is cool. I like solo games. I think it's really smart to try to make sure you have a solo edition, because it seems like that is becoming really kind of required for a lot of games lately.
Yeah, and I agree. And it was not something we were able to crack with the Curse of Misfortune Lane, because it has asymmetrical gameplay built in. And it's one versus many, and that's a whole ordeal. But this was definitely doable. I'm happy with how it's turned out, and I now get the appeal why someone might make a solo game that is solo exclusive. It definitely gives you a lot of control over the gameplay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, certainly with Misfortune Lane, you'd have to have had some sort of almost like mini AI for the monster player, and that would have just been a total nightmare.
That's the biggest turnoff for me when it comes to solo mode, is when it's not just like managing your own outcomes, but there's some sort of like very basic AI operating, sort of like an uncaring robot that plays against you according to its own rules. And I don't know. That's what I have video games for.
Yeah. And then one thing I was going to ask you about while I had you is that last week Alex told us that he was cranking away on the next Howling Hog's joint, and that might have been a point of stress for you. Are you going to start some beef with your co-founder tonight?
No, I'm not going to do that publicly. No, Alex is. It's a role reversal for us because Misfortune Lane it started as I spent like 1 week without sleep or food, and then like emerged from Plato's cave with this idea. And Alex is doing that this time. We're big proponents for like a little hypomanic episode to get you through early game design.
Cool.
And he's latched on to an idea that I'm excited about. And for now, I'm just sort of letting it happen. I know the moment I come in and ask a question, I'm going to derail the whole thing. So I'm going to let him sort of fly high on that for a few weeks, especially since we have this Kickstarter going on. I
Right.
occasionally give him a hard time that we're not done with the Kickstarter.
Maybe now might not be the best time, but you know, like I think, I don't know, like I've gone through the Kickstarter process once myself, right? And there's a lot of just sort of sitting on your hands and trying not to hit the refresh button constantly. So I can certainly understand kind of trying to maintain your sanity by maybe not paying attention super close to that number going up or down.
Absolutely. And I am not a poster child for like healthy coping with Kickstarters. Like I'm at the screen as often as possible, and it's nice. I mean, I'll have backers or
sorry, Austin, we just got raided. Welcome, Board Game House viewers. A raid is on, so, and we're getting spammed something. I'm not sure what that is in the chat.
Yeah, I can't really tell. It looks like it says love, but that's
all right.
There's a lot happening.
Yeah, there are a lot of emotes happening in chat. Well, folks who are on the raid, what you're looking at is actually our Vorpal board, which is our remote board game playing platform. And tonight we were playing LumberJerks, which is currently on Kickstarter. And we have one of the owners of Howling Hog Games who make LumberJerks on stream with us, Austin Mace. So if you think this is something that you might be interested in, head over to Kickstarter. They have about a week left. I'm going to put the link in here real quick.
Yeah, I welcome raiders to come and raid my Kickstarter. I'm very okay with that.
Yeah, go crazy. But yeah, sorry to interrupt you with the raid there.
No, that's okay. I totally forgot what I was saying, and which means it must not have been important.
Oh, cool. So yeah, Board Game House says they've been talking about it on their Kickstarter corner they do every Monday. So that's awesome.
Oh, great. Cool. That means Google Alerts is not doing its job telling me.
You know, I had that same problem actually with Google Alerts. I feel like I wasn't getting certain stuff. I don't know if they like do no index, or something.
I don't know. It was very bad with the Curse of Misfortune Lane because it flagged the word misfortune and just gave me news articles every morning about the state of the world we live in. Oh, so that was troubling.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful. But yeah, so for folks who just showed up, it's a good one. I enjoy it. I've played it a ton. I was very lucky for Austin and Alex shot me a prototype copy a while ago, and I have played lots and lots and lots of games of LumberJerks with my family, and it is a constant in our house. So. And yeah, he's it says we do it live on stream. Oh, so that may be why.
That makes sense.
If it doesn't end up in like the actual stream name or a highlight or something, maybe it doesn't get indexed by Google. But yeah, that's great. Obviously all the best luck in the final week. Hopefully it doesn't drive you crazy.
But, yeah, well, no, that ship sailed like 14 days ago. That was right out the gate. But hopefully I'll have something good to be crazy about in the next week or so.
Yeah, hopefully. And for other new folks watching, we stream generally Tuesday nights and Friday nights. Tonight was a special one because we wanted to debut the solo mode of LumberJerks. So I played through the solo mode and got crushed. But it's not about winning or losing, right, Austin? It's about just how well you did.
Yeah. I mean, you lost to my score, so I think it is a little bit about winning and losing tonight. But
yeah, of course. Now that there's more people here, you got to really talk the trash. But we do generally Tuesdays. Tomorrow night we're going to be streaming another game that's on Kickstarter, Squire for Hire, which is something of a Cinderella story, kind of. It was a game that was looking for something around $800 or something like that, and I think it's at like 11,000. It's a neat one-on-one 15 card game where you're trying to build your backpack like in a fantasy kind of mission. You kind of it's a layout game. So we'll be playing that tomorrow, and we'll be doing it live using Vorpal board, and we will have John Merchant, who is the designer of that game, with us. So definitely check us out tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. And as always, Austin, thanks for coming on the stream, friend of the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And everybody check out LumberJerks, and we will talk to you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.